According to you, what should be the design approach for a new project?
Okay, let me think. See, way we work, we look at every project as something different. Not every building type is different. Every building is different. Yeah, sure. If you do the second hospital, your memory is going to bring back your first hospital's mistakes into focus, or what you could have done better in bringing in focus. That is experience. That remains. But each project must be able to stand on its own. That's how we look at it. We don't look at any project, whether it's a residential or commercial, or we've done malls, we've done hospitals, we've done factories, industry. We make an effort as much as we can for that particular building to be able to stand on its own. Not look like a follow through of your last one. The very reason for that is that if you think like that, you will force yourself to do research for that project from scratch. And it's very important to do this. Even if you're doing a house or a bungalow, each and every one project has to start from the very basic. Very basic. You can't say, oh, do you know I designed that house? Let me see if I can make another house. That was a 5-bedroom house. This is a 5-bedroom house. Totally, then you're lost.
The site context is also
Site context, the family requirement, needs, everything is different. Budgets, everything is different. So unless you learn and teach yourself and stick to that every single project has to start from the basic research. The site, the context, the climate conditions, the client's needs, the cost, the budget. We are doing 3 hospitals right now. They are all very different from the point of view. They are all in Pune, but they are different because they are going to serve a different part of society for different needs. Where our hospital at Vanori is almost finishing, and if you like to bring your students after a few, maybe another week or so, Dr. Nandini and arrange a visit. It's a good time to do it because they can see the services going in, and that is a general hospital. I think it will be one of the nicest hospitals in Pune, although it's not very large, but it will be a very good community hospital. It is located in Vanori. It is good. The catchment is right from Madhapsar, Vanori, right up to Undri. So it is going to serve a very large residential population. So for that you need a general hospital, and that's what it is going to do. Another hospital we are just starting in Hinjewadi. It is going to service the IT community. So their ailments are different. They suffer from different ailments. It is also located in Hinjewadi, so it is going to hopefully serve as a trauma center for the horrible accidents that we get on the highway and the expressway. So it's a very different requirement, very different need. The site is very different. It's a very small, irregular shaped, sloping site. Vanori is a flat, narrow, long site. So you have to start from basics each time. What is the main requirement? Same thing you do for houses, or you do for offices or commercial buildings or malls for that matter. Have you been to KB Mall? Yeah, nice. Now, what your students should learn from visiting a site when you talk about, you said study. For me, every site I visit is a study tour. Why is KB Mall different from all other malls? Tell me, what did you find different?
I found it's very very, very concise and you don't get lost in the malls. And everything is under one roof, but the scale is worked out so nicely that it's not very cluttered up and you don't feel, I don't know, it's a very pleasant experience. You don't feel tired at all. Like we walked throughout the length, but we enjoyed looking at all the shops and the kiosks in the between and the seatings that were provided.
The parking is good.
The parking is very,
Okay. Now,
very sorted out.
I'll tell you what is. A lot of good malls are like that. Yeah, there are bad malls also. I think the workmanship is particularly good here compared to some of the new malls in Pune. But there is something very different between in KP Mall from all other malls, and it is what makes it is the MEP services. The floor-to-floor height in KP Mall is 6 meters. Where everywhere else you will go, you will see 4.2, 4.5. A mall has a huge amount of air conditioning requirement. Huge, very large ducts. For that, you have to provide a very large cavity above the false ceiling. The shops themselves want more height. To be able to design the services, that is where services come. You see, services for a mall are completely different from a service for a hospital. So, if you go to KP Mall next time, have a look, the floor-to-floor height. Then you walk up the stairs. Try and walk up the stairs. Don't take a lift. What's a normal floor-to-floor height? 3 meters? Okay. So you can walk under the mid-landing. Yeah. If you do 4.5 meters, you end up with 3 flights. If it's 3 flights, you will end up at the opposite direction, facing the opposite direction where you start, which is not what you want. If you make in 4.5 meters 4 flights, you will not be able to do anything at the mid-landing.
The space under the
Right. So 6 meters gives you 4 flights. It also gives you an opportunity of double banking service areas. Like for example a toilet. You don't require more than 3 meters for a toilet. And there are a lot of toilets in the mall. So what do you do for the 3 meters above the toilet? You can again use it. And the staircase will serve it. But it cannot happen if it is 4.5 meters. Now, this is something that is very peculiar to a mall. It doesn't apply to other building types. And now you see you have final year students doing mall designs. But they will not be able to do it right because they don't understand services.
and the structure also. And
The
even
structure.
the built malls are
Now you take the structure. Why is the mall structure different from any other building?
guided by the parking.
Guided by the
Parking.
parking. That's why you get an 8.4 meter grid.
Grid.
And you go, there are a lot of malls you go and see.
Yeah, famous.
If the parking in a mall is not right, the mall will never be successful.
Has to begin from.
Yeah. And you get architects who do very fancy shapes in malls, and circular and snail pattern and all kinds of things. There is a mall on top of North Main Road, small little mall, but it's got a curve and all, looks very fancy. But you go into the parking downstairs, it's a horrendous problem.
Even replace mall engine.
Yeah, all of them. You see, if you don't design the parking right, the mall will never work. It's your entry, exit, drive around in the mall itself. The spaces there for the car parking. You should be able to find your way back to your car very easily. So there, if you go to KP Mall, you will see they're all color coded. You remember at least the color of the floor you are on, even if you don't remember. So, and then you need to ventilate these car parking areas. So you will find large AHUs at every car. If you go into KP Mall, you will never find it stuffy in any of the parking areas. They're very well ventilated. So these are things which an architect will say, oh yeah, parking is free. My priority is to sell the shop. So everyone will design a shop. They'll design an atrium. They'll design white color. They'll forget these two things. One is parking, and the other is how do you provide the air conditioning and services. And the guy who's going to run the shop, who's the owner of the shop, what is his interest? His interest is to get a footfall, get buyers to come in. And why will the buyers come? Buyers will come not only if the ambience is right, but if it is a convenient. You have to make the mall user friendly, not architect friendly. If we keep on doing theses after theses which are all form and no function, they are architect friendly.